Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the issue that has gripped longtime viewers and sparked a wave of fan speculation across the bold and the beautiful community. Is Liam Spencer's terminal brain tumor diagnosis real, or are we watching a perfectly staged soap opera? For decades, B&B has built its legacy on love triangles, secret children, supposed deaths, and last-minute reversals that defy medical, emotional, and sometimes legal logic. And now, with Liam Spencer's life in danger after a sudden and dramatic medical crisis, the stakes have never been higher or more suspicious. It all started in early April 2025. Liam collapsed after a heated, emotional argument with his father, Dollar Bill Spencer. At the time, things were terrifying. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital, and initial scans revealed something serious, a brain hemorrhage. As if that weren't bad enough, further tests led by Dr. Bridget Forrester and Dr. Grace revealed a diagnosis that sent shockwaves through the Spencer and Forrester families, an inoperable brain tumor. Terminal. With no surgical options. No known treatments. It was a moment crafted with the tension of a soap opera. The camera lingered on Liam's pale face. The room fell silent. Doctors exchanged pained glances. Steffi cried. But for soap opera fans, for those of us with more daylight hours than a medical student, something was wrong. Not just emotionally, narratively. Because everything about this plot, from the rushed delivery to the overly clean medical certainty, screams one thing louder than anything else. This diagnosis is wrong. And the truth will change everything. In episodes airing in April 2025, viewers watched Dr. Grace Buckingham make a strange phone call. A follow-up call. A confirmation call. She steps aside, her voice hushed. Her face, unreadable. If that's not a common daytime TV signal for something's wrong, I don't know what is. The call isn't about scheduling. It isn't about a second opinion. It's about confirming test results. Come to think of it, why would Grace call to confirm something that's supposed to be certain? Why didn't the hospital's automated system flag this sooner? It's a classic setup. The kind of moment you blink and miss until it becomes the twist that makes everyone's jaw drop. When Bridget Forrester and Grace Buckingham both confirm the diagnosis, it's not just redundant. It's questionable confidence. In real life and even on TV, doctors rarely use absolutes, especially when it comes to the brain, especially when it comes to terminal diagnoses. And especially when it comes to characters played by contract actors like Scott Clifton. Two brilliant doctors saying essentially the same thing word for word? Too perfect. Too staged. And in TV, it almost always means someone mixed up the records, or worse, someone switched them. We never see the results. Not once. Not on screen. Not on paper. Not in an envelope. We just see the doctor telling the characters what we, the audience, are supposed to believe. And on a daytime soap opera, when test results are just spoken and not shown, that's the equivalent of a flashing neon sign that says file converted ahead. Let's talk about Liam himself. Who he is, son of Bill, one of the show's most central powers. Father to Beth and Kelly, linking him directly to both the Logan and Forrester clans. A core romantic interest that has anchored storylines for over a decade. Would B&B actually kill him off? Maybe, if they had a long-term plan. Maybe if Scott Clifton wanted out. But that's not the case. There's been no announcement, no mysterious social media activity, and no official word that Scott Clifton is leaving the show. And let's be honest. Daytime dramas don't keep quiet about departures, especially ones this big. So, what's going on here? Here are the most plausible developments B&B could deliver in the coming weeks. The classic, cleanest solution. Liam's tests were accidentally switched with another patient. Probably someone with a similar name. It could be a data entry error, or even sabotage. This development would allow the writers to maintain emotional tension while finally revealing that Liam is not the terminal patient he was misdiagnosed as. Prepare for Grace to burst into the room and breathlessly exclaim, "Liam, you're not dead." There was a mistake. Cue gasps of surprise. Cue relief. Cue the realization of how close they came to losing him and how it brings hidden emotions to light. If they don't do the swap tests, they'll rely on soap opera miracles. Remember when Finn brought Eric Forrester back from the dead in 2023 with a miraculous breakthrough? This could be a repeat of a new trial, a never-before-done surgery, or a miracle drug funded by Dollar Bill's bottomless bank account. Imagine a scene where Liam is at death's door and then the tumor is shrinking. We don't know how, but it's happening. Because in B&B, sometimes the impossible happens at the right time. This would be the boldest option. Someone wants Liam to believe he's dying. Maybe to push him out of a romantic triangle. Maybe to get access to his assets. Maybe to break his spirit for revenge. This opens the door to some serious villainy. Sheila, who? Or what if this is part of a long gestating twist involving someone like Luna or even a mysterious newcomer? She's prepared for Liam's death. She's made a promise. She's starting to grieve. If the truth comes out, it could reopen emotional doors and romantic doors too. She's broken. Her guilt, her silence, her almost heartfelt confession will all explode if she finds out Liam isn't dead. It could bring her closer to him or push her further away. This is Bill, a man who didn't even know his son was dying. He would do anything to save Liam, including hiring the best doctors in the world. If it turns out Liam was never in danger, Bill's rage could explode. What we're seeing right now isn't the end of Liam. It's the beginning of a rebirth. Whether through miraculous science or bureaucratic confusion, Liam's survival will rekindle the love triangle between him, Hope, and Steffi. Rebuild the Spencer family storyline. Introduce new villains or mysteries about who tampered with his records. Allow for dramatic forgiveness and emotional reunions. In short, this is the bold and the beautiful doing what it does best, pushing us to the edge, letting us grieve, then pulling the rug out from under us in the best, most cathartic way. Mark my words, Liam is not leaving the show. We are witnessing a soap opera masterclass in setup, tension, and emotional payoff. The funeral scenes? The whispered goodbyes? The deathbed scenes? They are not the end. They are the beginning. The real twist is coming, and when it happens, it will change everything. To understand the emotional weight and nuclear potential of this return, we need to rewind the clock and revisit one of the most chaotic, scandalous, and emotionally wrenching arcs the bold and the beautiful has ever dared to write. Jack Marone was not conceived through love or passion in the traditional soap opera sense. He was conceived through a medical procedure involving Brooke's egg, Taylor as a surrogate, and Nick Marone as his biological father and ultimate guardian. It was a triangle formed not in lust, but in science, secrecy, and the kind of moral drama that has rippled through every corner of Los Angeles. This strange and layered origin immediately put Jack at the center of emotional turmoil. Brooke, still reeling from her own complicated relationships with Ridge and Nick, struggled deeply with the fact that she was Jack's biological mother, but not his emotional parent. Taylor, pregnant with a child, found herself increasingly unsettled by the maternal bond she developed, only to have her role questioned at every turn. Meanwhile, Nick Marone, charismatic, flawed, and controlling, made the shocking decision to take Jack and disappear. There was no fanfare. No lengthy goodbyes. Just silence. And for years, the show continued. Other storylines took center stage. Jack became the forgotten child, mentioned only in the darkest corners of fan forums and flashback recaps. But the bold and the beautiful never truly forgot. Now, as whispers grow louder that Nick Marone might return to Los Angeles, and not just for a brief cameo, longtime fans are feeling the familiar pull of a storyline that never quite got closure. If Nick returns, will Jack be far behind? This won't be the Jack we saw wrapped in blankets and shrouded in scandal. This will be a grown Jack, now a young man in his late teens or early 20s. A man shaped by the absence of one mother, the secret love of another, and the continuing mystery of where he truly belongs. Jack will return to Los Angeles, where he's barely remembered, but whose reappearance could shake every family that has ever touched his life. Imagine this. Jack, now a handsome, melancholy young man, arrives in LA unannounced. He brings with him questions Nick has never answered. Questions about Brooke, Taylor, Ridge, and the strange medical experiment that shaped his life. He wants to know the truth. He wants to know why he was hidden. He wants to know why Brooke gave up her biological connection. He wants to know why Taylor was never allowed to fully raise him. And neither woman is prepared for what that means. Brooke, already saddled with years of regret, will be forced to confront a part of her life she's locked away. How will she explain to Hope, to RJ, to Ridge, that she has a biological son she hasn't seen in over a decade? Taylor will be shaken, too. Her fragile equilibrium, hard-won after years of trauma, will be shaken by the return of the son she once carried, once fed, once loved as her own. Will she feel like a mother again? Will she want some form of connection back? Will Ridge, knowing that Jack carries Brooke's DNA, step in to play a role? The emotional stakes will be high. But the real drama may come from Jack's interactions with the younger generation who have been thrust into the spotlight in recent months. RJ has moved up in both the design world and his romantic relationships. He has the Forrester name, the Forrester charm, and the Logan legacy. But imagine Jack coming in with the same Marone style that defined Nick, combined with the dark emotional complexity inherited from both Brooke and Taylor. Jack and RJ could clash immediately, not just over family dynamics, but over power, love interests, and attention. Jack, seeing RJ as Brooke's adopted son while he was the one pushed aside, could develop bitter resentment. And that resentment could spark the kind of rivalry that fuels years of plot. And what about Finn? Dr. Finn has struggled with his own family demons. But as Steffi's husband and Taylor's son-in-law, what would he do if Taylor rekindled her emotional connection with Jack? Would Finn feel threatened? Does Jack wonder why someone like Finn stays in the family while he is left in the dark? The possibilities are endless and explosive. Jack's reemergence will be not only emotional but romantic. A young man with a simmering intensity, mystery, and a deeply misunderstood past? Soap gold. He could find himself falling for Hope, especially if she's still grieving Liam and questioning her place in the world. Or he could meet someone new. Maybe Luna. Maybe someone unexpected. A new love triangle, or even a new love quadrangle, could explode quickly. And imagine the tension if Jack falls for someone with strong ties to the Forresters. The family that erased him. The family that tried to forget he existed. Jack, raised away from privilege, now faced with people who live in the spotlight, could be both attracted and repelled by the world he was rejected from. The name Marone still has meaning on the bold and the beautiful. Nick Marone, long gone, was one of the most dynamic, passionate, and unpredictable characters the show has ever seen. If Jack inherits even half of that energy, fans are in for a wild ride. Jack could be the wild card. The storm. The man who comes in with no strings attached and slowly builds relationships with chaos behind him. He could find himself working at Forrester. Or trying to take it down. He could be the saboteur, the lover, the warrior. A voice for all the unspoken things in this show's past. It's been over a decade since baby Jack disappeared from the screen. But fans never forgot. His origin story was too strange, too raw, too real to just disappear. With the possibility of Nick Marone returning, it's time to bring Jack back. Let the secrets unfold. Let Brooke and Taylor deal with the child they both gave each other in very different ways. Let Ridge question past decisions. Let Jack encounter the world that shaped him in his absence. Let the new generation collide with the consequences of what came before. The bold and the beautiful has always thrived on legacy, family, betrayal, and redemption. Jack Marone is all of those things.